Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things that you need to consider and evaluate to find the best lender here in Rochester, Minnesota, or actually anywhere that you live. So the first thing is you need to consider the type of loan that you are looking for or that best fits your needs. So for example, if you're doing a conventional loan, that's very common. Most lenders will do conventional loans. And if your file or your, finances are pretty straightforward, basically any lender can do that kind of file without any challenges. Now, if you're looking, for example, at a FHA loan, which is also very common, most lenders, if not all, should be very familiar with FHA and the guidelines and all the different things that go into it. Again, you shouldn't have issues, but let's say that maybe your finances are a little bit, more unique. Maybe you're self-employed, maybe you have income coming from different places. And so if your file can be a little bit more complicated, there's some lenders that will do FHA loans, but once it starts getting like too complicated, maybe they might not be the best fit for you. So that's something to consider. Or even if you're doing like a rural development loan or RD loan or a VA loan, Veterans Assistance Loan, or maybe you're a first-time home buyer doing down payment assistance through Minnesota Housing or some other down payment assistance program in your area. For this more unique type of loans, you just want to make sure that you have a lender that works with these loans, every day, has a lot of experience, so that way you don't have any hiccups or any issues through the home buying process, or that if issues are going to come up, they can kind of find those proactively, and they can kind of help you make sure that you can overcome those obstacles and you can buy your home, as scheduled, right? And so that's one of the first things that I would tell you that you need to think about. The other thing too is maybe you're looking to buy your second home or a vacation home or even an investment property. For these kinds of loans, even if they're conventional, pretty straightforward, when the situation is a little bit different, you want to just make sure that your lender specializes in basically in the type of loan or purchase that you're looking forward to do. The second thing that you need to consider is whether you want a local lender, maybe from a small credit union bank, or maybe you want a brick and mortar kind of national well-known bank, or even an online bank. So for all three of these banks, there's pros and cons. For a local bank, one of the benefits is that they might be more invested in certain communities or areas where they want to provide great products for people looking to buy. And so they may offer better rates, lower costs. Now, they may not have the availability to do many different kinds of loans. So that could be something to consider. But overall, they have good service and they have lower cost options for loans. Now, if you're looking at like more like national brick and mortar bank, those are great because they may be able to offer different kinds of products, but they may have less flexibility within those products, right? So just one thing to consider. And then with online banks, sometimes they get a bad reputation among agents or certain places, but they can be great. They can have really good rates, they can have low costs, their overhead usually is lower, so they might be able to offer you more, but you just have to be aware that you might have to do a lot of work electronically, whether it's emailing documents or going to their website, filling applications. Because they're not local, you're not gonna have that face to face, or potentially not have that face-to-face interaction. So you just have to figure out, what's important to you, what makes more sense, so that you can make that decision. The third thing to consider is, do you want the lowest interest rates or the lowest closing costs? So in a perfect world, any home buyer is gonna say, well, I want the lowest rates and the minimum cost to buy the house. But typically, there's an inverse relationship. So the higher the interest rate, usually lower closing costs. Not all the time. There's some lenders that will charge you high interest rates and high closing costs. Again, depends on the buyer. Buyers that have lower credit scores are usually going to have higher closing costs and interest rates. But in the perfect world, you want to have the lowest possible interest rates and the lowest possible closing costs. Sometimes, or most of the time, from my experience, the lower your interest rate, then your closing costs might be higher. Maybe to get that lower interest rate, you have to pay some points. Which, by the way, if you want to learn more about what points are, watch this video. Or if you want to get the lowest closing cost because maybe you don't have as much cash in your pocket or in your bank, then you get lower closing costs, but then your interest rate is going to be a little higher. So that, again, another thing to consider. The fourth thing to consider is, do you want a lender that's going to provide you really good service, have really good communication, and keep you with everything that's going on throughout the process, or are you looking for someone that's more kind of transactional, that's gonna, that it's gonna get the job done, but they're not gonna be as available or as helpful. I think most people want that lender is gonna provide the best service. Maybe you're buying your first home, but in the future you want to buy a rental property, or you want to buy, another home. You want to have someone that's going to be there for you throughout the home buying process, but even after, if you start getting documents in the mail or things that you have questions about, you want to be able to reach out to the lender and you want them to call you back or email you back. You'll be surprised. Some lenders, once the transaction's done, you will not hear from them. And I guess that's fine. But again, this is, well, it's not fine, but this important to consider. There's a lot of really good lenders here in Rochester that provide really good service. They'll call you, every 3 6 months to see how you're doing, and they want to really build that relationship. So that's the kind of lender that I would be looking for if I were buying my first. The fifth thing to consider is, do you want a lender that's going to be the same person you're going to be talking to throughout the entire process, right? Or are you okay working with a team? There's teams of lenders where you initially meet with one person, and then as you're going through the process, there may be different people that you're interacting with or that maybe are sending you emails. And that's okay. Just know that, depending on the lender that you pick, you might have different types of communication or with different people. So that, again, that's just something to consider. In my opinion, the best lender is going to be the one that's going to provide you the best interest rate based on your current situation, your goals, and what you're looking to buy, but also give you the best closing costs while giving you really great service, because there's so many things that happen during a transaction, and you want to have a lender that's going to have good communication, that's going to be available, and that's going to be willing to help you even if things start going the wrong way. You want them to be proactive and there for the entire process and even after. In my opinion, that's the type of lender that I look for, and the type of lender that I like to recommend to past clients or to new clients that are looking for a lender. Now, if you would like a free 15-minute consultation where I can help you find the best lender in your circumstance and situation here in Rochester, Minnesota, I'm gonna have a link on the comments below that you can click and connect with me, and I'm happy to help you. I'm also obviously a real estate agent here in Rochester. I take pride in helping clients find their new home and help them with their real estate goals. So obviously I'd be happy to talk to you more about that as well. But if you're looking for a lender, feel free to hit the link and we can connect. If you have a great lender that you've worked with in the past, let me know in the comments below. You can even add their contact information so that I can also share those great lenders. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.